Chef Tony Matas for BBQGuys.com. Today I'm making grilled artichokes with an herb and garlic dipping butter that's going to be incredible. If you're interested in artichokes, please watch this video. All you need, I'm doing 3 artichokes today. You can do as many as you'd like. I've already done most of the work with these, and I've saved one to show you what you'll have to do. Basically, you just take an artichoke, cut the top half off, lay it on its side, and cut it in half. I'm sorry, before that you need to cut the stem off, leaving about a ½ inch. Then you'll cut the top half off and slice it down the side. You want to pull off the hard exterior leaves, and then you'll use a regular kitchen spoon to remove the choke, which is the purple stuff inside. It's sort of like thistle, and I'll show you when we get in close what it really is. There are 2 things to remember when beginning to work on your artichokes. First of all, you want to make sure you have a very sharp knife, because these can be very tough and you don't want to slip and cut yourself. And also, the bowl of water that I was showing you earlier, you want to squeeze the juice of a whole lemon inside of it. You want to have it ready before you begin cutting, because they oxidize and discolor very, very quickly. I've cut the stem off, leaving only a ½ inch. After that, you'll cut the top half off and then lay it on its side, and you'll cut it in half like that. You'll insert it right at the bottom where the thistle ends and the artichoke's heart begins. Just like that. And these are fairly tough when they haven't been cooked yet, so you don't have to worry about, if you haven't had these before and you've had marinated or stuffed artichokes, you might think all this would be very soft, but since nothing's been done to it yet, you don't have to worry about it too much. It's not that gentle. Just finish cleaning it out, and then you can remove the purple parts by hand, just because they're a little bitter. And that's it. When you're finished, it should look about like that. I'll do the other half and the other thing is, you want to remove them one at a time to do this from the water. That's how quickly, I don't know if you can see it, it's already starting to kind of turn brown a little bit on the edges. It happens very quickly. So you want to get it back in the water. When we're done with all of them, we're going to get them into this pot of boiling water that I added a tablespoon or 2 of sea salt, and we're going to boil them for 12 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to be ready to rock. Once all of your artichokes are finished and your water's boiling, all you have to do is remove them, let them drain a little bit. They're going into water, so it's not that big of a deal. And throw them in the boiling water. You're going to let them boil for about 12 to 15 minutes. Oh, it smells awesome. Once the lemon juice hits that boiling water, it releases a really nice smell into the outdoors or into your house or wherever you're doing this. You'll let them boil for 12 to 15 minutes. And after that, you're going to cut them off. We'll strain them. You want to pierce them with a knife on the side to make sure that you can kind of easily get through, but you don't want it to be very soft or else they'll fall apart on the grill. While our artichokes are boiling, I'm going to go ahead, because it's so quick and easy, I'm going to show you. We're going to put together the marinade, if you will, for the artichoke, and we're going to put together your garlic and herb butter on the other end. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, extra virgin preferably. 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, depending on how much garlic you like. 1/2 of a teaspoon of kosher or sea salt. 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. 1/2 of a teaspoon of basil, dried. 1/2 of a teaspoon of dried oregano. And about 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. I'm going to whisk this together just a little bit, just to incorporate. All right, that's done, and when those come off, we'll drain them a little bit, and then they'll go in there and be tossed around before we get them on the grill. Today I'll be using a cast iron saucepan so that I can put everything together, and I'm going to have this simmer on the grill while these cook, so they'll come out together. Just makes it kind of nice and easy, and I love cast iron, so I use it all the time because I can do that with it. You know, you can take it straight from here to go into an oven, onto the stove, into the barbecue pit, or whatever you want to do with it, so it makes it nice. You have a stick of butter that you want to dice to about a ½ inch, a teaspoon of kosher or sea salt, 2 teaspoons of dry rosemary leaves, not ground, The powder will be very strong, so you just want the leaves. And 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper, and 1 to 2 cloves finely chopped garlic. I have 2 because I'm a garlic lover. If you don't love it so much, just go with 1. That's it. We'll put the lid on this, and when these guys go in, this will go in with it. When your artichokes are finished boiling, all you have to do is you could either use a spider, or you could pour these out straight into a strainer or a pair of tongs like I'm doing. You just need to take them out. So you want to kind of drain them pretty well before you stick them in the oil mixture, or it won't hold to it very well. At this point, before we begin tossing the artichokes around in our marinade, you want to make sure to go ahead and fire up your pit, and you want to bring it to a medium heat. You want to preheat it. This is only going to take, we're going to toss them around in here and let them sit for maybe 10 more minutes and get them on. So 5 minutes ago, or right about now, you want to go ahead and get your pit lit or started. Make it happen. All right. Put these in here. I'm going to be a little gentle with them since you just finished boiling them. You also could do this part of everything the night before, let them cool, and then put them in a plastic container in your refrigerator until the following day to do the rest of this if you were interested. You definitely want to pull them out about 30 minutes in advance, and to let them come back to room temperature so they would absorb more of this. You have everything tossed around. As I said, we'll probably let this sit for about 10 minutes, and then I'll put a grill grate on top of my grill, which I would recommend too, some sort of a grill topper, because these are kind of gentle, and depending on how wide your cooking grids are specifically, you could have some issues. So I don't like to take a chance when I'm cooking something that I really love to eat. Earlier I said we'd put the garlic and herb dipping butter in at the same time that we put the artichokes in, but on second thought, since I don't know what kind of grill or cooking apparatus everybody will be using, you can always pull this out and it'll stay good, but you don't want to overcook your artichokes. So we'll go ahead and put this in a couple minutes before we put in the artichokes. We'll get them ready. I'll be using a stainless steel grill topper today. I highly recommend this grill topper, thick stainless. It's going to protect the artichokes from getting all the direct flame that comes out of the unit. It'll still get some because it has plenty of holes, but you don't have to worry about frying your artichokes. Place your artichokes, and I like to place mine what I like to call the face, or the cut side down first. After about 3 minutes, we'll flip them over to their back sides and then let them go for another 2 or 3 minutes just so they get good and charred up. I'm not sure what smells better right now, all the herbs from the dipping butter or the artichokes themselves. We're right at 3 minutes. They're looking good. They're starting to brown up a little bit. From the smell of it, yep. You certainly don't want to burn your butter, but from the smell of it, this stuff's ready. It's about time to take the artichokes off the grill. At this point, all you have to decide is whether you're leave the herbs and garlic into the dip or the dipping butter, or strain it out, in which case you just place a strainer over a new bowl, pour that directly into the strainer. It'll strain out the herbs and garlic. No big deal. You can throw it all away. I like to leave mine in there to continue to infuse in the oil and the butter, and occasionally you get some little chunks of garlic from dipping the artichokes in. It's just the way I like to do it, but that's my opinion. Do it however you'd like. Great as this looks, artichokes just so happen to be one of those items that no matter how good they look, they always taste a little bit better. So now, with the urging of one of our customers, I will taste this. Since it smells great, I know it's great. Incredible. I would like to thank Scottsdale MHP for letting me use their grill today. I think it performed pretty well with our grilled artichokes. Hope you enjoyed it. I wish you could join me to devour the rest of these, because even though I love them, I mean, 6 is kind of a lot. So I don't know, I guess either the CSRs or I'll end up hurting myself. Thanks for watching today. Remember, at BBQGuys.com, we smoked the competition.